Good morning, everybody. My name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. Today is Saturday, February the 17th, 2024, and this is Flosstube number 62. If you're new to my channel, I'd like to welcome you. This is a channel where I talk about my cross stitch. I do all kinds of projects, big things, small things, fancy stuff, not fancy stuff. I have boards and baskets and milestones and goals and all the things. And I usually have some type of project that will make everybody happy. If you are returning to my channel, I'd like to welcome you back. Thank you so much for watching and following along in my journey. I'd like to give a special thank you to Peggy for the super thanks for some bits and bobs that I need to get for some of my projects. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. Yeah, so let's get started, shall we? I'm going to try to keep this at a regular length floss tube as opposed to one of the 3-hour ones I've been putting out this year. So my board. I felt a little off these past 2 weeks. I'm not really sure what the deal was. I mean, I got a good amount of stitching done, but I just did not, something just wasn't, I was like off of my routine that I usually do. Like I have a system, I have a routine, I need to stick to it. Otherwise it just throws me for a loop and I just don't like, I don't know, something just doesn't feel right, if that makes sense. And of course, you know, I was feeling off, and then I was setting up an event for one of my groups, my Facebook games, and I accidentally copied and pasted the event description into a comment instead of a caption. And I got banned from posting. It flagged it as spam, and I got banned from posting on Facebook for 6 days. So I'm in jail on Facebook again. Again. So anyway, now that's really throwing me off because I'm like, so in order to post in the games, I have to post it in the messenger chats on my teams, and then they have to post it for me, and it's super annoying. So I'm only doing it in like 2 groups right now. The other ones I'm just like, screw it, whatever. So anyway, this is my board for the past 2 weeks. I mean, like I said, I got a decent amount of stitching done. I'm trying to angle it so it's not like all the reflections. I got a decent amount of stitching done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But 2 of them have 2 milestones, so it's actually 10. I got 10 total milestones done because 2 of these projects have weekly goals or milestones or what have you. Is your claw stuck? Mr. Whiskers got his claw stuck in the carpet. There you go. 2 of these have weekly milestones, so they count as 2 milestones each. So I got 10 milestones done. I didn't work on everything. I worked on, as you can see, I worked on a lot of stuff that didn't get the milestones done, but I didn't work on everything. So Mr. Whiskers, update on Mr. Whiskers. He's my big fat gray cat. Yes, I called you fat. He's looking at me. He's been sick for like a month. Started off with respiratory infection and a UTI. When I took him back 2 weeks later, respiratory infection was gone, but he still had a UTI. He was on antibiotics for 2 more weeks. Took him back last Monday, and they were trying to get a urine sample from him, and they couldn't because that joker peed while I was taking my kids to school, so his bladder was empty. So I had to take him back on Wednesday to try again. So what I did on Wednesday was I locked him in my bathroom when I woke up, took the kids to school, came back, and then right before we left, I brought him out of the bathroom and brought him to the vet, and they were able to get a urine sample, and he was all good. I suspected he was because he was acting totally like his normal self, but I just wanted to be sure because he can go downhill pretty quick with the UTIs, and I wanted to make sure that everything was good to go. So he is back to his normal self, and he is currently sitting up on the ledge in front of the TV. So let's get started, shall we? Let's start with what I've been working on. First thing I'm going to show you is, let me move this over here and let me move this over here. Okay, first thing I'm going to show you is one that I started, but I did not get done. This is from Franny Ritter Designs. This is Bake the World a Better Place. And that's what it's gonna look like when it's done. I am doing this on this was a new start, and I am doing this on a 28 count Jobelin by Witchelt in the color Coffee, 2/2. And my milestone, my goal is to finish this, and my first milestone, hang on, I need my card. I left the card in there, and I need it. My goal is to finish this, and I have it divided into, this is where I got with it. I have it divided into 5 milestones, and the first milestone was to complete cupcakes numbers 2, 3, and 4, which was the center cupcake and then the 2 on either side of it. And I did 500 stitches on it. So I got the center cupcake completely done, including the back stitching. And then I moved over to, that was cupcake number 3. And then I moved over and started on cupcake number 2. So I think what I did this past 2 weeks was I decided to try and get, I was trying to do as many of the 500 or many of the, oh God, let me start over. I decided to do a little bit differently this time. Instead of trying to just complete a bunch of milestones, I decided to do as many of the achievable milestones as I could. I didn't do one of them, but that's okay. The rest of them, instead of trying to just complete the big milestones, I was like, let me just try to get 500 stitches on as many of, because I average about 500 stitches a day during the week. So I was like, let me just see how many of these I can do 500 stitches on, so that at least when I pull them again, I'm not starting like completely from scratch. So that's what I did with this one. Because I was like, well, let me see how many 500 gets me. Apparently it gets me 1 cupcake and part of another one. So, yeah. All right. So that is that one. So that goes back in the basket for me to pick again. The next thing I'm going to show you is from Emma Congdon, and this is out of her Cross Stitch for the Earth book. What page is it on? I'm calling it Unplugged. She doesn't really have a name for it. I think Backcountry Stitcher is doing this one too. But it says Unplug and Go Outside. That's what it's, oh, I'm sorry. It's from Cross Stitch from the Earth, and you can get this on Amazon. Unplug and Go Outside. And I'm not an outdoorsy person, really, honestly. Like, I'm really not. I'd rather be in the air conditioning because I'm 50% potato. So I'd rather be in the AC with a roof over my head. But I really like it. And I have a goal of 7,000 stitches on it, with the 7 milestones of 1,000 stitches each. So my first milestone was 1,000 stitches, and I did 500. So I still have 500 to go to get this 500. Yeah, 500. I started in the center, And I'm doing this with 2 threads on a 14 count white Aida. So that's where I'm at with that one. And it's a pretty easy stitch. I enjoy stitching it. Emma Congdon's stuff, she's also stitched Rovia on Etsy, and her stuff is like super fun to stitch. I enjoy it quite a bit. So there's that piece. So that one goes back in the basket. And the next thing I'm going to show you is from Cute Patterns by Maria on Etsy. And it's called Pumpkin Autumn on Etsy. I'm just calling it Pumpkins. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. Isn't that cute? Stop focusing on my face. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I have a goal of 8,000 stitches on this. I've already completed 1 milestone on it. Let me find it real quick because was this my cheating one? No. So I've already completed 1 milestone on this, and I'm working on milestone number 2. I'm doing this on a 14 count Charles Craft Aida, and like, I call it dog pea, but it's just like a yellowy brown mottled printed fabric, 14 count. So I got 1,000 stitches up here, and then my milestone number 2 was to do another 1,000 stitches. I did 600 on it, so I have 400 to go for milestone number 2. But I decided to work on the blue pumpkin, which was my favorite thing, which is like this blue pumpkin is what made me buy the pattern to begin with. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that. So 400 more stitches to complete that goal, milestone. So that will go back in the basket. Once I complete that milestone, this will get put away until 50%, I'll kind of go over this later, 50% of the milestones in one of its categories are completed. Okay, next up is another piece that all my completed milestones are at the bottom of the pile. So next up is another one that I started but did not get the milestone done. This is Let's Talk Summer from Hands On Design. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. My goal is to finish it. My first milestone was to complete daisies, watermelon, and s'mores. That was my first milestone. I did 500 stitches on it. I'm doing this on a 16, I think, count black Aida. Left my thread hanging. And so I did 500 stitches and I got that far with it. So these daisies are done, I think. Oh, there's a couple back stitches that need to go over here for where these little flowers come off. The word daisies is done. I just have to do the line that's underneath it. And then there's more daisies that come up over here. I need to finish the word watermelon and then do the word s'mores. And then this milestone will be done. This is a fun one to work on. It's a lot of white though. I don't have a problem stitching on the black. That's not the problem. The problem is I don't like stitching white. So, which is essentially what a lot of this is. But it's really cute, so I'm just gonna tough through it. So this goes back in the basket. All right, next up. is another one that I worked on, but I did not finish the thing. This is from Twin Peak Primitives. This is Gingerbread Smalls 2022. I'm going to be doing all of these, but the one that I was working on is the carousel right here. Oh, I just noticed the little gumdrop buttons at the bottom of the carousel. How cute. Not the gumdrop buttons. Oh my God, carousel. Here it is. Oh, right on the top. Perfect. I have a goal to finish it. I didn't mark. Where's my pen? I didn't mark how many I did on here so far, so I know later. Okay. My goal is to finish it. I have it divided into an estimated 6 milestones of 1,000 stitches each. And I've already completed 1 milestone of 1,000 stitches. I am working on milestone number 2. I got 500 stitches done on it. I can't find it. Where is it? Oh my God, there we go. I am going to be doing all of them on the same fabric. So let me just fold this up real quick because you don't need to see the huge piece of fabric. I'm doing this on a 28 count even weave in the, now I gotta unfold it again because I need the color. Do I have it? Yeah, I do. 28 count Lugana, where is it? In the color Cornflower. 2/2. All right, forget it. I don't feel like folding it again. 28, all right, 28 count Lugana in the color Cornflower by Fiber on a Whim, 2/2. So I got 500 more stitches done on it. I need another 500 to finish the milestone. And that is where I'm at with it so far. So once I do if I pull it again and get the 500 done, this will be set aside until 50% of one of the categories. It's in 2 categories. So once 50% of one of those categories is done, this will come back out again once I actually get the milestone done. Pull this back up again. Okay, next up is I didn't really get a lot of milestones done. Looking at it, doing it like this, I'm like, wow, I worked on a lot, but I didn't get a lot done, like regarding the milestones. Next up is Poltergeist Pirates from Glendon Place. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm doing this on the called for fabric, which is a 28 count casual linen in the color Bang by Crosswing Collection. I have a goal of 5,000 stitches on it. This was a whip, so let me see. What did I do with the board? Oh, here it is, right by my foot. So I have a goal of 5,000 stitches on this. I have it divided into 5 milestones of 1,000 stitches each, and I did 500 stitches on this. And this is where I worked at. So I started working on this mast going up and some of the dragon head. And that is where I'm at with that so far. There's the whole piece. I am trying to backstitch as I go. So when I start working on this again, if I stay over here, once I get like more of this done as I go up the mast, I'll start backstitching this right here. But that's where that is so far. I'm really enjoying it. My 13-year-old claimed it whenever I get it done. He's like, I want that for myself. Okay. This is in this back. So let me put this back in here. So 500 more stitches and this milestone will be completed. All right. Next up is another non-completed milestone. This is Christmas with Friends by Keslin's. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I am doing this on a 28 count Lugana in the color Glacier. I do not remember who dyes it because 1, 2, 3 Stitch didn't put that on there. Oh my God, was that loud? I just like knocked into my board here. I do not remember who dyed it because 1, 2, 3 Stitch did not put that on the sticker. But I have a goal. Is this a goal to finish? I think it is. I had like 135 things I wanted to finish this year. Yeah, I had a goal to finish this. I have it divided into 5 milestones, with the first milestone to be to complete the S and the T. I already had the S completed when I pulled this out, so I started working on the T. I got 500 stitches. Yeah, 500 stitches on this one. So this part's done. When I pull it out again, I have to kind of loop this around. There's another loop that comes over here. There's a present, I think a bird, a tree, a reindeer, and a stocking that all have to go on that. That all have to go on that T. So I still got a bit to go on that. But yeah. So, it's cute though, I like it. It's just a lot of stitching. Okay. Okay. Next up, oh, we're getting into stuff I've actually gotten the milestones done on. Happy day. Okay, next up is the Heaven and Earth Sal for this year. This was a limited edition Sal, so you can no longer sign up for it. But they had 10 options to pick from. I am doing the Merry Mushroom Village Picnic 2, which is a crop of the Merry Mushroom Village Picnic by Amy Stewart, and this is the one that I chose. 3 pages have been, the first 3 pages have been released, so we're just kind of, some people have already finished those pages. I am still working on mine. I have it figured out that if I do 1,200 stitches a week on this, this will be done before the end of the year. And if I can do that, I get all 10 of the Sal charts plus 2 free charts from the website. And I want those. Not that I'll be alive too long enough to stitch all of them, but that's not the point. The point is I want to win. Okay, so I'm doing this to help myself achieve that goal. I'm doing this in 10 stitch. So I'm doing it 2 strands 10 stitch on a 28 count easy count Lugana. And so since the last time you saw this, I have done 2,400 stitches on it. This is where I'm at with it so far. I have officially hit all 4 corners. There's a stitch in each corner now. So now I'm just working on getting all this filled in. I was really struggling with this piece a few weeks ago. And then I was chatting with Alara, who actually also happens to be doing this one. And she's kind of working hers a bit different. So it's interesting to see how we're coming along. But I was chatting with her about how I was like really kind of not feeling it. And I was like riding the struggle bus with getting it done. And she mentioned something about like zeroing out a bunch of colors. And I was like, oh, let me try that and see how I feel. And so last week, that's what I did. I worked on just getting color completing as much as I could. And I think, what did I get to, Alara? 23, 24? I think I completed like 23 or 24 colors to get the 1200 done last week. And then I worked on this last night and I picked some of the ones that had a few hundred colors. And so I think I got like another 5 or 6 completed. But yeah, since the last time you saw this, I've done 2,400 stitches on it. The next 3 pages will be released, I think, in April. Every quarter they release 3 more, I believe. So I'm trucking along with this. Pleased with my progress. I need to put this in this bag because this stays out. Okay, next up is a kit. Oh, I need to pull this out. Next up is a kit from Artiste called Vintage Style. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. This was my work piece that I did at work. It actually took me like the 2 full weeks because we were kind of busy the past couple weeks. But I try to bring something to work with, to work on, like when we have downtime. So what I normally do is, because we don't get patients in the clinic until probably about 30-ish minutes, because we start scheduling at like 8:30, but we all get there at 8 o'clock to kind of get everything set up. So once I'm done with that, then I can stitch for a little bit till people start coming in. And we were kind of busy the past couple weeks, so it took me the 2 full weeks to get the 500 stitches. But I have a goal of 5,000 stitches, and I didn't check off my milestone. I have a goal of 5,000 stitches divided into 10 milestones of 500 stitches each. And so I got the first milestone done, and the background is printed on the fabric. So I don't have to stitch that, thank God. But this is the first 500. I worked on the bottle. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy stitching. It's just, you have to kind of pay attention. Like down here, there's a lot of quarter stitches. So you got to pay attention to where they all go. But yeah, I enjoyed that. And I think this is in 2 categories. Let me double check. Vintage TUV. Yeah, it's in 2 categories. So this does go back in the basket to be pulled again for the other category. I think back in the beginning of the year, I said I was going to set them aside to not pull from them immediately. But right now, then I realized, I'm like, well, if I pull one out that I just worked on, I could just not work on it, because I pull too many to work on every single project. So next up, oh, I need my pattern keeper. Next up is a new start from the Cross Stitch Studio. And I believe this was, I'm in the Insiders Club for Cross Stitch Studio, and so one of the perks that you get with them is that you get free patterns from them that they only release to the insiders. I think this might have been one of them. This is Creekview Cottages, Somerset. I think this was one. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was. I don't remember buying this. But this is what it's going to look like when it's done. It's 825 by 825. And it has 139 colors. I am doing this on my I'm doing this on a 28 count, easy count Lugana. I now remember it's 28 count because of what I decided to do with it. I have a goal of 6,000 stitches. I decided to do this intense stitch. I've been doing all the full coverages that I've started within the past year. I started doing full cross, and then I'm like, you know, I'm never going to get anywhere if I do everything full cross. So I decided to go ahead and do this one intense stitch. So I have a goal of 6,000 stitches and 6 milestones of 1,000 stitches each. And so because it was 10th stitch, I was able to get the milestone done. So this is 1,000 stitches. This has 680,625 stitches, and I've gotten the first 1,000 done, so I am at 0.15%. So there's that. And this is only in one category, right? I have it marked over here. Yeah, this is only in one category. It's in the full coverage category. So this is actually going to be set aside until 50% of the milestones in the full coverage category have been completed. And then, so I guess I can, well, I'll just put it right there. And then it'll come back out again. Next up is my other, so if I failed to mention, the Heaven and Earth Sal is a year-long project. It stays out all the time. My other focus piece is Honeymoon Sunset. I am doing a challenge with Alara for 25 weeks. We have a goal of 1,000 stitches a week. If you post it on Instagram, which I have not been doing because I'm terrible about that, we're doing hashtag 25K in 25 weeks. So we want to do 25,000 stitches on our respective projects in 25 weeks. So it'll be 1,000 stitches a week. I am doing Honeymoon Sunset by the Cross Stitch Studio, artwork by Abraham Hunter. And she is doing Dragons of the Sabbat, a retired piece from Pain Free Crafts. I believe it's by Ann Stokes. So I started the year at 30%. This project is the one that is the most, the furthest along with all of my full coverages. I'm doing this on a 25 count, easy count Lugana, 2 strands, 10 stitch. And I ended up working in 2 separate areas. I was trying to work in the same area for the 2 weeks so that it was just easier for me to show. And I worked on one side. I worked in one section for the first week. And then the second week, my 11-year-old was sitting on the couch with me and he saw my project. He was like, wow, that's really cool. And I said, where should I work on? And he picked a different spot. So, and then of course, after right when I was about to start stitching, I'm like, I probably should work on this, but I was like, whatever. So I worked in 2 separate areas. So the first area I worked on was over in the top corner with this frickin' palm tree. I hate palm trees. With this palm tree, I had a crap ton of parked threads right here. They were all right here. So I was working on getting those parked threads worked in. I got 1,000 stitches done over here, and I just worked on getting parked threads worked in. So I still have these to go, but I feel like I can't tell much of a difference. And of course, my before picture has all the parked threads doing this right here, so you can't really see the progress, but that's okay. But yeah, so I still have these parked threads to go to get that worked in. And then the other area that I worked on was in the opposite side on the top left corner. So Lachlan, my 11-year-old, his reasoning was, well, you should work over here because there's only one little palm tree in this area. So I worked in the, he's like, and it's almost done. So you don't really have to touch it. Thanks, baby. I love that reasoning. So I worked in the top left corner in the sky. And I kind of came up here and I was working on this section up here. I started, I think, up here, and I was trying to get some of the little stitches and then just working my way across, and I started coming down. So I got 2,000 stitches total done over the past 2 weeks. And I've been trying all different methods of stitching on this. Parking, diagonal, diagonal by square, like it's all kinds of stuff. So right now my current stitching style is pick a color and work the thread. And if it's a lot, then go ahead and keep doing that color. Otherwise, pick a new color and work that thread. All right. So one big thing that I did hit, which I have mentioned in a previous video, is I have increased by an entire percent. I started the year at 30%. I am now at 31.24%. And this is the whole piece. Trying to look through the fabric so I can make sure that you can see it all. But this is the whole piece, 31.24%. I have completed a total of 176,189 stitches out of 563,981. This is my favorite piece. Out of all the pieces, out of all 324 pieces I have, this is my favorite. All right. I started this, just FYI, I don't have an official, well, let me think. I started this in 2019. I remember receiving the fabric at the end of July. So I started this, I want to say, at the end of July in 2019. Yeah. Okay. Next up is a new start. This is from the Just Cross Stitch magazine, a series that they did in 2023, and this is Mother Nature Winter. This was in the February, I have it down here, Just Cross Stitch February of 23. That is what she's going to look like when she's done. I have a goal of 5,000 stitches. Divided into 10 milestones of 500 stitches each. I'm doing this on a 28 count tea-dyed Monaco 2/2, and this is where I got to. I got 500 stitches done, so that milestone is complete. She is staying out because she is in 2 categories. Let me just double check. I think my Mother Nature pieces are in 2 categories. Yeah. So she's in 2 categories. So she'll stay out so I can work on her for the other one. So that's 500 stitches on her. I did not work on all of the Mother Nature pieces I pulled out. I did work on 2 of them. Get back in the bag. Okay, the next one is from Shannon Christine Designs. This is Belle. This was a new start. This is what she is going to look like when she's done. Isn't she pretty? I have a goal of 3,000 stitches, 6 milestones of 500 stitches each, and I did not, give me 1 second, I gotta fix something. That makes me sad. Did I mark her off on my categories? I did, okay. She is only in one category. I'm like trying to look around my stuff at the bottom of my computer screen. She is only in one category of fancy like. So she's actually going to be set aside until, because I got the milestone done. She's going to be set aside until 50% of the fancy like categories have been completed. 50% of the milestones in fancy like have been completed. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, so I'm doing this on a 28 count Lugana from Live and Die in LA in the color Winter Skies. 2/2. And I got 500 stitches done on her. I'm working off a paper, so I wasn't going to be flipping around to all the different things, all the different pages, so that's why it kind of like stops right here. But I started in the center, and so this is the right here is where flowers would start. It's the top left corner of her dress, like this section right up here. Ah, there we go. So yeah, I had to make a copy of it. I had to make a working copy of it. Usually I just, because of how I learned how to stitch, I can just look at a pattern and figure out where I'm at. But this one is a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? I had to make a working copy and highlight because I was like, my eyes were starting to cross trying to figure out the symbols or like where I was. Where's my working copy? Yeah, so I made a working copy and I'm highlighting everything because there's a like quarter stitches and beads and like, because the colors blend together so much, it's like, where am I at? What am I doing? But blending together so much in a good way. So she is going to be set aside until 50% of the fancy like milestones have been done. Okay, next up is Mother Nature Christmas. This was from Just Cross Stitch magazine, December of 23. This was the final piece in their series. Look how pretty she is. I really enjoyed working on this one. I think that this one might be one of my favorites out of all of them. Again, 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. And it's funny how different everything, like 500 stitches. I did 500 stitches on the winter one, and it just looks like a blob of blue. But this one, like, it's actual definition. Like, there's her hair up there, you know? It's like, I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, I got 500 stitches done on her, and she's in 2 categories, so she will be going back in the basket until to be pulled for the other category that she is in. And I enjoyed that very much. Oh, I need to put this back in Mother Nature Winter. Okay. Alrighty. Last piece is from Mill Hill. This is Buttons and Beads Autumn Series. What's happening? It's espresso, and this is what it's going to look like when it's done. There we go. I have a goal to finish this, and I have it estimated in, I've estimated 8 milestones of 500 stitches each. I had 1 milestone completed when I pulled it out for these 2 weeks espresso. And it is in 2 categories. It's in small kits and it's in fancy like. So I had completed the milestone for 1 category, and I pulled it out and I got another milestone done. So 2 milestones are completed on this. I did 500 stitches. So this will be set aside now because both categories have been completed for it. It'll be set aside until 50% of the milestones in either fancy like or small kits has been done. I really should have a coffee category. A few people mentioned that. I should have a coffee category. That'll be a next year thing. But yeah, there's 500 stitches on that. So. Okay, that's it for my whips. Okay, let's update my category board. Okay, so this is my category board. I have all categories listed, and I have all the categories listed with how many, because some pieces are in multiple categories. So this is my current category list from the 150 that I'm working off of. So this is where I'm at with it so far. And let's go ahead and update. Let's go ahead and update the board, shall we? All right. So for the out of the milestones that I have done, I've completed 2 in the fancy like categories. So that brings this up to 5. So the blue is how many milestones are in that category, and the red is how many milestones I have to hit before the pieces that are in that category go back in the basket again. So fancy like I did 2. Full coverage I did 1, so that brings this one to 4. Seasonal series I did 2 more, so that brings this one to 16. And large kits I did 1, so that brings this one to 5. And that was all the ones I did. Because Honeymoon Sunset and the Hate Cell do not count for any of these because they stay out all year no matter what. Okay, so I completed 10. Is that what I said? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so I completed 10 more milestones. The only thing that Hate and Honeymoon Sunset count towards is the milestones. So I completed 10 more, so that brings this to 56 milestones completed so far this year. And for the current projects that I'm working off of, that's 1,000. I have 56 done out of 1,089. So the closest ones to going back in the basket so far, it looks like it's kind of up in the air with a few of them. A few of them have like this one, fancy like, small kits, and gnomes all need 4 milestones done. Other only needs 3 milestones done before those ones go back in the basket. So I have just a quick explanation, and if you've heard this every Flosstube, I'm sorry. But if this is your first time watching, because every time I play a new video, I get new subscribers. So it's not confusing for them. I have all of my projects assigned to categories. Some are assigned to multiple categories, and it's how I see fit. So I have some pieces in fancy like that are not fancy ladies. I just consider them to be fancy pieces. So, you know, that's just an example. But I have them all divided into categories, and some have multiple. So once they get done for that category, if they're only in that category, they get set aside so I can work on other stuff. I noticed last year when I was just doing goals that once I got the goal done, it got set aside. So I wanted to be able to work on it more than once, which is why I have milestones and goals. And these are not set in stone. They're more of, who said it? I don't remember who said it. Someone commented, they were like, so you would say these are just more of like a guideline. Yes, that is what they are. They are a guideline. So that's why I have milestones and goals, because I need the milestone to give me a stopping point. Because if I don't have a stopping point, then I'll just look at it and be like, oh God. Or I will just work on that and nothing but that. So I need a stopping point. So that's why I have the milestones. And then I have the goals, because it's like, okay, well, if I do this much on it, then it does need to be set aside so I can work on other stuff. If I'm able to, I'm not sure how all that's going to work, because I have more projects to pick from right now than I did last year. So I'm not sure how this is going to work, but ideally, once I get a big goal done, it will definitely get set aside, and I'll pick from the other 200 something projects that I have. So what I might do in 2025 is maybe do this, but pare the goals down so I can, I don't know. I got to work on this for a little bit and see how it all plays out. Okay. Somebody was asking me if I could show, real quick before we update my boards, somebody was asking me if I could show how I have everything set up. Now, I'm not super fancy with the editing, so you're going to have to deal with the fact that I got to flip my screen around on my computer, and you got to look at it that way. Oh, it lays out. Oh, that makes it easier. Look at that. I'm so fancy. So this is my spreadsheet, and I have my whips listed in alphabetical order. Hopefully you guys can see this, but I have my whips listed in alphabetical order. And then I have the designer, and what I have currently right now is the designer is highlighted in yellow, because that is my current, the ones that are yellow are what I'm currently picking from, because I still have all 300 something projects listed on here. So I just highlighted the one I'm currently able to pick from in yellow. And then I have what categories they're in. And again, the categories were completely my decision. There was no rhyme or like no set thing I looked up online or anything like that. The asterisk on there, those were how I was like categorizing if they were a new start. And then hang on a second. I got to slide over. I got to slide this over. Oh, wait, no, I don't. Okay, so I just got to slide it over on the screen. The asterisk is if it was a new start. And then the numbers I have over here were how many milestones I picked for them. And again, the milestones were just something I just came up with. It's like I just picked numbers and like, that was it. Like there's no special formula that I did. But these numbers here were how many milestones are for each piece. That's how I was able to calculate the milestones. And then this column over here is if I work on a piece, I will put how many stitches I did on it. So as you can see, as we go down, there's more. And if I have set stitch counts, like oh my God, the one piece further up that had 300 and question marks, ancestors. I had done 300 stitches, but I put the question marks because I didn't know how many stitches it was going to be to hit the milestone because it's a paper pattern. But then if I do know how many, this one here, if I did know how many stitches I put, how many stitches were left. But some of them I didn't do that. I just put how many stitches I completed on it. And then I'll just show you my current categories spreadsheet. I have them all listed out with the WIP name. If they're red, they're in more than one category. If they're in black, they're only in one category. And what I do before each floss tube is if I have it completed, I highlight it in blue. That's just for my records. We're tracking it on the board over here for you guys. Oh my God, my throat's so dry. And what I did this past 2 weeks was I went through and I wrote down very messy handwriting, but I wrote down just an abbreviation of each piece and what category I was going to be working towards if I completed it. And then if I completed it, I checked it off. The stars here are that these pieces were only in, these pieces would get set aside. The rest of the check marks, they still have another category they can be worked towards. So I know to keep them out. And then I just wrote down how many from each category got done. So yeah, that's it. All right. Let me move this over here. Get my Blue's Clues marker out. Let's update these boards, shall we? So I have all of my WIPs on giant project boards. And I have squares. If you haven't seen these, if you've never seen these boards, don't freak out when I open this because it looks like it's a hot mess. But I have all my WIPs written on the project boards. I did this all last year and everybody had a blast watching me fight with these boards, with the board. Now I have 4. But I have them all listed out with squares for each milestone. This is just for you to be entertained. It's not meant for you to like sit there and analyze it and read it. Not gonna lie, some of these actually have more squares than they're supposed to. We're not gonna get to all that anyway, so it don't matter. All right, so let's go ahead and color in the blocks that I have done. First one is Belle. Where's she at? Up here. Okay. And then Creekview Cottage. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's down here. Creekview Cottage, Somerset, down here. Espresso is over here. Honeymoon Sunset is on my last board, so is that one. Okay, next up is Mother Nature. The Mother Nature pieces. I don't know if they're on this. Yeah, they're on this one. Okay, Mother Nature Christmas. And Mother Nature Winter. And then the last one is Vintage Style. This is on board number 3. I have to add the other ones that I added on after the fact. Vintage Style, which is milestones right here. No fighting with the board. No attacking me from behind this week. Yay. And then the final board. So we got 2 more milestones. Oh, that one didn't get finished color. There we go. Okay, so we got 2 more milestones for my 25K in 25 weeks. And then I got 2 more milestones for the Merry Mushroom Village Picnic 2. There we go. So that's progressing along quite nicely. And then just so that if you haven't seen it before, this is where I put all the finishes I said I wanted to do. But I'm kind of shooting for 20. I'm not really going to see... I don't know if I'm even going to hit the 20. We're not really going to see any finishes until later in the year, I'm sure. But if I do finish anything, we'll write it here in the middle with the date that I finished it. Okay. Got all that done. So, time to draw from the baskets. One basket, not multiple. Oh my God. Hang on a second. Let me move this stuff out of the way because I don't need this. All right. There we go. Let me get my bins. Let me reorganize. Let me regroup. Hang on. Move these out of the way. And so what we'll do now is I will pick from my basket my new projects for the next 2 weeks. I'm just moving all my whips to where I can actually reach them. Okay. All right. And I'll show you my starting point and what the milestone I'm working on and blah, 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 blah. All right. I'm going to draw 20 pieces. I need to mix this up because right before the video I went through and put the ones back in that were going to go back in the basket. So I just want to make sure these are mixed up really good. All right. First up, let's talk winter. This will be a new start. From Hands-On Design. This is similar to the Let's Talk Summer that I showed you that I worked on. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I will be doing this on the same fabric, the Black Ada, and I have a goal to finish it. My first milestone will be pine trees and warm fires. So the pine trees section right here and the words warm fires. So we'll see how much of that I get done. I'll probably go ahead. There's like some Smyrna crosses by the pine trees and the warm fires. I'll probably go ahead and do those too, if I can get that milestone done. Okay, next up. And that, oh, hold on. Let's talk winter. I gotta highlight it. There we go. That is in the category seasonal series. Okay. Next up is Rainbow Castle. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs. I pulled it last time and I did not work on it. Where is it? I went through my pattern keeper and I deleted some stuff that I had done, or duplicate charts. I had some stuff that was duplicated and stuff. And so my stuff got all out of order. But this is from Heaven and Earth Designs, Max Color, artwork by Cyril Marchetti. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. It looks very, very bright because it has a lot of bright colors. Saturated, I think is the word I was looking for. So, like I said, that's not it. I did not work on this last time you saw it. Oh, that's because this is backwards. Hang on. What was I trying to say? I didn't work on this last time I pulled it. That's what I was trying to say. But this is my starting point. I have a goal of 10,000 stitches, 1,000 stitches each milestone. And that is my starting point for that. We'll see if I'll work on it this time. I said last video, oh, if I pull something twice, I'm definitely going to work on it. And I did not do that. So I'm not even going to say that anymore. Milestone of 1,000 stitches for that. All right. Next. Reason someone smiles. Oh, hold on. Rainbow Castle. I gotta highlight it. Rainbow Castle is in 2 categories. It's in full coverage and it's in fancy like. Reason someone smiles is going to be a new start. So I don't need to show you the fabric because I have not started it yet. And it is in one of my Emma Congdon books, Cross Stitch for the Heart, page 60. I have a goal of 5,000 stitches on it. Here we go. The first milestone is 1,000 stitches. Says, be the reason someone smiles today. And I'll just be doing it on a 14 count, like ivory or white or something. White, 14 count white fabric, white Aida. Yeah. So. And that is in the category of other. Okay. All right. Christmas calendar. All right, that one is over here. This is by Tiny Modernist. And let me find it on Pattern Keeper. There is back stitching, so I'll have to pull the PDF up for that. Here we go, and just do it this way. All right, Christmas calendar by Tiny Modernist. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. This will be a new start. And I will be doing this on a 18 count Aida. The color Stratus, color and cotton, kind of like a light blue color. And it is in the category of Christmas. I have a goal to finish it, and blocks 7, 8, and 12, because I think like right here is where, like right in this area is where the center is somewhere. So 7, 8, and 12 are the first milestone. So that one definitely will not be completed by the time you see that again. There ain't no way I'm going to get all 3 of those blocks done. Okay. Next up is Wool Shop. This is a retired chart from Pain Free Crafts. Artwork is by Steve Crisp. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I've already completed 1 milestone on it. And it is down at the bottom of my list, of course, Wool Shop. It is in 2 categories. It is in full coverage and it's in seasonal series. I've already completed it for the season. It's in seasonal series because I have I have all of the shop pieces that Steve Crisp put out. I bought them before she retired his stuff. So I have all of them but one set to be a start. And so I'm counting it in seasonal series, and then it's in full coverage, of course. But I have a goal of 6,000 stitches on it. I got the first milestone done of 1,000 stitches, so I will be working on this towards the full coverage category. And my next milestone is to do another 1,000 stitches. It's being done 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana. So there's that. Okay. So there's the first 5. I'm hungry. All right. Next up. Christmas ABC. This is a kit from Design Works. And let me see. Christmas ABC is in 3 categories. It's in large kits, Christmas, and seasonal series. This is what it's going to look like when it is done. I have a goal to complete 5 of the letters. I have 1 letter done except for the beads. That's what I started the year with. So my current milestone is to get the poinsettia block completed. And this is my starting point for that. I'm just doing whatever came in the kit. That is my starting point for that. So I've done a total of 600 stitches on it. I will keep plugging at this until that block is completed. And it will be going towards the seasonal series category whenever I get that block done. So with this piece, the only thing that I won't do on it but I will still consider the block to be done is the beading, because I don't want it, I stitch in hand and I don't want to poke my fingers with the beads and have them press into it and hurt. So. Okay, next up is Winter Sampler. This is from Cooler Design Studio. This is a whip. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Artwork is by Sandy Orton. I have 1 milestone done on this already. So I will be working on milestone number 2. So this has already been worked on for the seasonal series category. I will now be working on milestone number 2 for the sampleresque category. It's being done on 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. And this is my starting point with it so far. Not sure where I'm going to work at when I pull this back out. I don't know if I'm going to keep working over here, if I'm going to come back over here. I don't know yet. But that's my starting point with it. I really love this. I have all 4 pieces started, but I think only a couple of them are in my current I can pick from these list. Okay. Next up is Year of Gnomes, April. This will be a new start. Not that. Not that. Here we go. Year of Gnomes, April. This will be a new start. I will be doing this on a 28 count white Monaco, 1/1. I have May almost done. This will be April. Oh, so exciting. How exciting is that, huh? So cute. I'm excited to start this one. Okay. So 28 count white Monaco, 1/1 full cross. And where's all my cards? Oh, there they are. April. I have a goal to finish it. My first milestone will be to get it to 15%. There are, hang on. Once again, past Jen did not calculate the stitches. She just picked a percentage. So hang on. 91.77 times 15%. So about 1,377 stitches to get it to 15%. So the milestone, I can tell you right now, the milestone likely will not be done, but I think I will definitely. I say this and then I don't do it. I think I'm going to definitely start it because it's a super cute one that I really want to work on. Of course, I say that about all of my pieces. So, okay. And Year of Gnomes. April. It's in 3 categories. It's in seasonal, salves, because when this was released, it was released as a stitch along, and it's in gnomes. So when I work on this, I'll be working on, if I got the milestone done, it would go towards the seasonal series category. Okay. Next up is Spring Sampler. I think this is the only, no, I have all 3 of them pulled. Summer Sampler is the one I do not have to pick from. Spring Sampler. Summer Sampler is sitting in the sidelines waiting for something to be completed so it has a chance to be worked on. Oh, let's see, where is it? All right. Spring Sampler from Cooler Design Studio. It's being worked on the same fabric as Winter Sampler, 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have a goal of 5,000 stitches on this, 10 milestones of 500 stitches each. I have the first milestone done already, so I will be working towards milestone number 2. spring sampler. I have already worked on this for seasonal series, so I will be working on this towards the sampler-esque category. And this is my starting point. So I need to do another 500 stitches on it. That is my starting point for that. I was thinking when I do my, however I decide to revamp this and do my milestones and goals next year, I'm thinking instead of picking like sections or like 1,000 stitches or something, I was thinking about just doing a straight 500. And then just from that, like doing straight 500 on every piece, and then just picking different total stitch counts. Like my bigger pieces, I'll probably do bigger things, you know, I don't know. Ooh, Black Cats and Pumpkins. This will be a new start. And that one is over here. This is, everything's still in plastic. This is from Little Dove Designs. Black Cats and Pumpkins. And I will be doing this in DMC. Is that what it calls for? Yeah, DMC. I'm going to be doing this on a chalkboard black Aida, 14 count. And my goal is to do 2 bands, like 2 bands. And my first milestone will be to do the words in this middle band right here. So it says, oh my God, when black cats prowl and pumpkins gleam, may luck be yours on Halloween. So those words are the first milestone I have. I might be able to get that done. It doesn't look like too much. You never know. And Black Cats and Pumpkins, I want to say, is in holiday. Oh, it's in 2 categories. It's in sampler-esque and it's in holiday. Let me move this out of my way. So it will be worked on towards the holiday category because, so if they're in more than one category, then what I do is all right, so there's half. So we're halfway done with picking projects. So I'm gonna pick 20. What I do if they're in more than one category is I work on it towards the category that has the most amount of projects in it so that I can pare that category down, if that makes sense. So then everything go back in the basket faster. Okay. Nativity motifs. This will be a new start. Over here. It's a little kit from Artiste. I haven't even opened the package. But this is what it's going to, I'm just going to do it all on one piece of fabric. You could do them separate and do them as little ornaments, but I'm just going to do it on one little piece of fabric that comes in the kit. And my goal is to finish it. And the first milestone will be to get this center one completed. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. It'll be to get that one completed. I doubt that one will be done before you see me again. So that looks like it's a lot of stitching. All right, and nativity motifs. Oh no, what did I just do? Undo. There we go, okay. Nativity motifs is in 2 categories. It's in small kits and it's in Christmas. So if I got this done, it would go towards the Christmas category. Okay, next up is Catching Rays. This is my largest project. It is from the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. And it is 1200 by 900, 134 colors. It is a total of 1,080,000 stitches. So I call this my million stitch project. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have not worked on this in a really long time. I know exactly where it is though. I'm doing this on a 32 count easy count Lagana, 1/1 full cross, and this fabric fits half my bed, takes up half my bed. I have a goal to get this to 3%. All right, let me do something real quick. My first milestone is 0.1% increase. So 1,080,000 times 0.1 %. So 1,080 stitches to get this milestone done. And apparently I lost my needle in the bag. But this is my starting point. I was doing the pages in a checkerboard. I'm still on the fence on if I'm going to keep doing that. Some people say do it, some people say don't. I don't know. Anyway, I hope I don't step on the needle if it came out of the bag. But this is my starting point with it so far. I've completed 3 pages. I'm almost done with this 4th page. And I'm currently at 2.31%. So if I work on it this go round, I will show it in a little bit better. Like, because I'm just like, here, this is it. Bye-bye. So yeah, goal of 3 to get it to 3%. First milestone will be to do 1,080 stitches on it. Okay. Next up. Oh, and Catching Rays is Catching Rays is in the full coverage category. Actually, hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. Okay, next up is Gingerbread Smalls Train. This one will be a new start. I'm going to be doing them, it's the Gingerbread Smalls from Twin Peak Primitives. The one I showed you the carousel on. Same fabric. And but I'm going to be finishing them all separate. So I'm counting them all as individual starts and finishes. So that is the one that I will be starting. That one there in the corner. And I have a goal to finish it. I want to say they're all like 1,000 stitch milestones. I just want to double check. Yeah, so it's this one. I think it's smaller. It looks like it's bigger, but I think it's smaller than the rest of them because I only have 4 milestones. But the goal trumps the milestones. So if I actually do all 4 milestones I have on this and I still have stitching left to do, I will just add more milestones to it so I can get it done. But the train is in, let me see, train. It's in Christmas and it's in seasonal series. So I will be working on this towards the seasonal series. category if I get the milestone done. Okay. Okay. Next up. Year of Gnomes, May. Ooh, we might be looking at our first finish, y'all. Oh, where'd my Year of Gnomes go? Hold on, it's in this bag. Year of Gnomes, May. I'm almost done with it. So this is the same series that the April one is in. I'm not even going to show you the mock-up of what it's going to look like because I'm almost done with it. Oh, but I do got to pull it up because I got to see where I'm at with it. I'm so excited. I'm just like flinging stuff everywhere. I am currently at 90.34%. I only have like 700 something stitches left to get this thing done. I'm gonna get this. This is gonna be the first finish that I have this year. So exciting! I will get this thing done before you see me again. Oh my God. My goal is to finish it, obviously. Okay. Okay. Oh, let me highlight it on here. So I just noticed that it's in 3 categories, but I only had like 2 milestones for it because I went to 85 and then 100. So what will happen is once I think what I'm going to do is once I finish the piece, whatever category it's in, that this number here will drop by 1 because it's been completed, and because I'm tracking it all on my computer too. So I'll probably keep this the same. That won't matter. But this right here, because I won't have it to pick from anymore, this will all drop down by 1, which means that these will drop down too. I'll have it all worked out before you see me again. All right. New start, Calendar Girls, September. Where is it? Where are they? Oh, they're way up here. Here they are. Okay. I'm going to be doing them. I got to double check my measurements that I cut these in. I want to say I'm doing them 2/2. Here it is. On a 32 count Legacy Lugana from Picture This Plus. They're all cut already, so I only need like 1.5 inches, if that. So I wasn't worried about that part. I just got to double check. I'm pretty sure I'm doing them over 2. So Calendar Girls, September. I have these all set to be finishes too. Here we go. I have a goal to finish it. My first milestone will be 500 stitches. I'll show you the piece in a minute. September. And this is in the seasonal series category, so once it gets done, it will get set aside until 50% of those milestones are done. But this is what she's going to look like. Oh, that'll be cute. I'm estimating that's going to be about 5 milestones. We'll see. I might have to add. Okay, I'm gonna add more. All right, so. Oh my God, get in there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 5 more pieces and then we'll be done. Let's talk spring. This will be another new start. I hope I get back in my routine and my groove. This will be in the seasonal series category. And same fabric as the other 2, the black Ada right here. This is from Hands On Design. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have a goal to finish it. The first milestone will be bulbs and blooms right here, umbrella, and the raindrops over here. Yeah. So essentially this, oh, umbrella, the word umbrella. Hold on, is there a word rain? Okay, so bulbs and blooms, umbrella with the umbrella. I'll do the Smyrna crosses, and then the rain that's over here in this little section right here. This rain over here goes with the raindrops, so we'll see how I do on that. Ocean ABC. I think I pulled this before, but there we go. But I didn't work on it. Ocean ABC is from Design Works. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I have a goal to complete 4 blocks. My first block will be to complete, my first milestone will be to complete the goal block. That's a lot of white stitching. This is my starting point. I have not started the goal block yet, but that's my starting point. I have A, B, and F completed. Okay. And Ocean ABC is in the, I think it's in a couple categories. It's in large kits and it's in seasonal series because, as you saw, I have Christmas ABC, Ocean ABC. I have Baby ABC, which you did not, I pulled last time, but I didn't work on it. And I also have Wedding ABC, but I don't have that one started yet. If I remember the next time, if I work on both of these ABC pieces, I'll try to remember. I have the crafty one that's, I don't remember the name of it. I'll try to remember, but I have it actually hanging up over, I have that one completed and I have it hanging up over by my kitchen. Halloween Wishes. I think that this milestone might be able to get done because it's when I started. It's over here. It's when I started, but I didn't get to finish it. Here it is. From Glendon Place. Oh my God. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And my goal is to finish it. On my first line, my first milestone, it's in 8 milestones. My first milestone was to do scary witches at your door. That phrase right there. And I have at your door done, and I started the scary witches. And I'm doing this on, I want to say a 32 count vintage Stormy Night. So I got to finish Scary Witches, and then this milestone will be done. So yeah, and I have I'm doing it in the called for because when I bought the pattern, I think I got it from Mystic Fabrics when she was doing like Market or Expo or whatever it was. And I went ahead and got the thread pack with it. It's in the holiday category. So if I get this one done, it'll be set aside until 50% of the holiday milestones have been completed. Okay, next up. Family vacation. This will be a new start. I'm going to be doing this on a 30 count China fabric. I don't need to show you the fabric because there's nothing there right now. But it's a fabric I got off of AliExpress, and I'll try to remember to post a link for the fabric down below. I've already started one piece on it, at least. I know of one that I started on it, and it works out pretty good. So Alara also uses that fabric, and she enjoys it a lot. So. Family vacation, where are you at? It's from Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Amy Stewart. I believe I have it in Max Color. This was actually a rack. It was gifted to me by my friend Liveth. And it is, yes, Max Color. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I love this so much. This is just like the epitome of family vacations. Seriously. Like, especially from like when most of us were kids, like back in the 80s and the 90s, like before cell phones and stuff came out. And it kind of honestly reminds me of, I'm not the biggest fan of all the National Lampoon movies from the 80s, but the vacation one where they go to Wally World, that's actually, a lot of it is funny, and it reminds me of that. My goal is 5,000 stitches with 5 milestones of 1,000 stitches each, and I will be starting this in the upper left-hand corner, so it probably won't look like hardly anything when you see it. Because I'll be doing, it's probably going to be it's probably going to be a lot of white. That's where I'm starting. Of course, in the most boring part of it. But this is in the full coverage category for sure. I don't know if it's in any others. Hang on. Family vacation. Nope, it's just in the full coverage category. Okay. Last one. Oh, Best of Christmas. This will be a new start. This is a really, really old kit that I had picked up. Oh God, I gotta sort the floss. I might not start this because I don't really have any thread sorters right now. And I gotta sort that floss. I might not start this one right now. This might be one of the ones I don't work on. But this is a super old kit that I picked up from some grandma on Facebook Marketplace. She sold it to me for like $1. But if I do work on this, I have a goal of 4,000 stitches. I really love Christmas pieces, and it's just, I don't know, it's cute. Ooh, unless, does this have DMC? No. I could try to color match and just do it in DMC. I don't know. It's an old Bucilla kit, and you know how them Bucilla kits are. But I have a goal of 4,000 stitches on it, 8 milestones of 500 stitches each, and the first milestone, what am I saying? The category that it's in, let me see. Best of Christmas. It's in 2 categories. It's in large kits and it's in Christmas. Like I said, I may or may not just color match to DMC because I don't want to do all that. We'll see. All right. So those are the 20 pieces I'm going to work on for the, or that I have to pick from for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to do a stitch with me probably tomorrow to work on for, or to post for next weekend. And let me see what else. I don't know. I think that's all I have to say. I think that's all I have to say. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. What I might do is try to do like maybe my next stitch with me if I remember and if I feel like scrolling through all the comments, because I try to, it takes me a bit. Sometimes it takes me like at least a week before I actually respond to comments, but I do read them all as they come in. But I'll try to remember what some of the questions were and then maybe do like a little Q&A at my next Flosstube. Not Flosstube, Stitch with Me. Maybe that's what I should start doing. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Hopefully I get back into my routine and everything will be hunky-dory and it'll be good to go and you'll see a lot of stitching from me in the next couple weeks. So if you, like I said, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the comment section down below. If you liked what you had to see and you're not already subscribed, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and the bell to be notified whenever I post a video. I post a regular Flosstube update about every 2 weeks, and I started doing Stitch with Me's in the off weeks between the Flosstubes. So yeah. Take care, happy stitching, get a lot of stitches in, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.